Now, AT. We talked about Landry Fields and the task at hand, right? He's got a lot on his plate, and he's going to have to figure it out as he goes along with, being a new top basketball executive for the Atlanta Hawks as an organization. Because I don't want to throw his title out there because somebody might take that title and he might be up under that person this summer. We don't know. It's just how things roll with the Hawks as of late. So, but I think the most important hire or the most important thing that's going on right now is who they hire as their next head coach. And according to Shams Charania, or according to the Athletic, the Hawks are zeroing in on Quin Snyder. They've already met with him virtually because right now he's out the country, and it looks like they're going to try to get something set up to do an in-person interview. Now, from your experiences, we talked about your experience as far as being around the NBA, and also Quin Snyder was an assistant under Mike Budenholzer.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the AT spiel on what you think about Quin Snyder as a head coach.
Hey, he won Coach of the Year award while he was in Utah. Mm-hmm. Okay, that speaks volumes.
Right.
Whether or not he lost a bit of his fastball down the stretch with the Jazz, something went wrong there. Whether it was issues with players or he was burned out or management. They did have a management change that last year. He was there. New ownership came in. Dwayne Wade was involved in that. They brought in Danny Ainge from the Celtics, and so all of that added up to Quin either leaving on his own or the new management team being interested in making a move. The dude can coach, okay? Yeah. And he got his start, a return start in the NBA under Budenholzer. He was if fans don't recall, he coached on a college level many years. I forget which, Missouri. I believe it was Missouri where he was a coach. And so Quin has been around the block too. Longtime player at Duke, went to a Final Four or two. I'm no Duke fan, so it's
who is?
So I'll give him his just desserts there, but he would be a welcome addition to that bench. I also think Ime Udoka would be a worthy candidate. Now, troubles aside, we still don't know the full story of what all went down in Boston. All we know is that he lost his job and made bad decisions. That doesn't mean he hasn't learned from it. It doesn't mean he doesn't deserve a second opportunity. Boston wasn't standing in his way. They were fine with releasing him early, and at one point in time, we thought he was going to be the Brooklyn coach,
right?
If you remember back. And so, and once again, he may have made stupid choices off the court, but he didn't become a dumb coach during that period of time. Hell, they went to the finals last year. So Doka is certainly worthy too. They need to speak to him. Now, you may not make him your final decision, but I think you need to figure out what he's all about. That's for certain. And if you feel he hasn't learned from the Boston situation or there's still too much fire to be able to make him a permanent head coach again, then fine. You do your due diligence. But that's a lot of mentors in the business that were in those seats as GMs. A lot of the things and coaches, you would always hear them say, we always tried to make sure we keep names of people we may have to consider. Because with coaching, you don't know if you have to make a rash decision and fire someone. You don't know if the coach will suffer burnout. You don't know if the players will turn on them. You don't know if tragedy in their family comes into play and somebody walks away from the job. Any number of reasons that you can't be caught off guard by a coaching change. And if you're Landry Fields, you should have been thinking about this back when those athletic stories came out earlier this season, and the conflict was put on full blast by the troubles Trae and Nate were having.
Yep.
And so if you weren't already thinking about names and candidates and quality individuals to be your next coach, there's nothing wrong with ever thinking about them. That's your job. You're not stabbing a coach in the back by looking for someone to replace that individual. You just can't let that information get out. Okay. You can always do things on the DL and the QT and keep it quiet as best you can if you're in the market for a coach. And so I was surprised to see so many names listed yesterday already.
Yeah. Charles Lee, Miles Simon, who nobody knows what that is. That's like, okay, G League coach. Okay, all right, cool. Add him to the list.
Because we're in the All-Star break period of time.
Yeah.
So teams don't return to the court until tonight. They start returning around the league. And so there's been very little activity where a lot of discussion would have been going on. So I'll give Landry Fields credit for at least revealing some names. He didn't have to yesterday.
No,
he was going to be asked. Okay.
Yeah.
And so and should be asked because this franchise is concerned. The fans are concerned. They're still in the playoff race. They've got the talent to be better than what they've shown. And so it's incumbent that the coach has the ability to relate to some of these guys who have had issues thus far. And it goes, the Atlanta public knows who that is. And for your star player to now be dealing with his third coach roughly in his 5-year career, that's inexcusable.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to get right. And you can't have any more excuses. You can't have any more coaches to blame. We thought that with the change from Lloyd to Nate, that, okay, he has gotten what he wanted, and let's see how this works. 2 years? I mean, that's lifespan is not good, man. It's not.
And that's the thing when it comes to a guy like Trae, because when you think of, I honestly, to be quite honest, I know we had our conversation about Trae off air, but I like Trae Young. I really do. And I don't mind a guy embracing the whole villain role, going up to Madison Square Garden and all that stuff. I don't mind having a guy like that on my team because, at the end of the day, you like that, you want those type of guys on your team because, like, hey, I ain't your friend. I'm out here trying to, give you 40 a night. Like, if that's what I have to do. But I think that the maturity factor comes into play when you talk about relationships with grown men. Like there's a certain type of language that you have to speak in order to be able to communicate effectively. So, and obviously there's been a breakdown because we know that Nate McMillan went out to your house, came out to your house and tried to lend a hand and come and say, hey, here's what I'm thinking when it comes to you playing off the ball more. So, and I think a lot of people who are Trae Young fans say, hey, Nate should have been fired. Yeah, that's true. But I think there's more layers to it when it comes to this team, just specifically on the basketball court, because there are a lot of other stuff off the court that, that's not necessarily really pertinent to what we're talking about. But I think when you're just talking about from strictly on the court standpoint, what Nate McMillan was talking about makes sense. Because look at the series against the Miami Heat. They had no answer. Trae didn't know what to do. Like, once he passed the ball, everybody was looking like, and Trae sitting up there looking at them like,
do your thing.
Right. It's like, all right, man, y'all, this is what they're doing to me. Y'all do what y'all do. So
I got mine. You get yours.
Go get yours. Like, DeAndre, go drop 30. All right, cool. Oh, we know that. Okay. We're excited about you coming back. But I think all in all, it has to be something said about Trae Young's maturity factor, because, like, whether you're a fan or whether you like him or you dislike him, like, you have to understand that we have to see some growth in some area, and also and the fact that you had DeJounte Murray, Clint Capella, and John Collins up here running his mouth, because we already know you stick a microphone in John Collins' face, he gonna talk. He has no issue whatsoever talking about the Atlanta Hawks issues and why Nate McMillan got fired. Like,